Hey, good morning. I'm John Rhoads. A couple weeks ago, I made a commentary on the presidential debate, and it's been a few days now, but I was watching the vice presidential debate and having similar thoughts and similar observations and wondering what other people experienced. Obviously, there's a lot of commentary on what happened, how well it went, who won, but stepping back at it and looking through kind of a coaching lens, I've though I was struck by how little was actually accomplished and wondering why that is. And the more I thought about it, I was looking at how both sides, both vice presidential candidates, were really talking past each other throughout the entire debate. And just like with the presidential debate, it seemed like it was a mirror and a commentary for how we treat each other right now. And maybe we've been doing that for a while, but it has built itself up to this point where these two individuals get to represent two ends of a spectrum that is us. And in their 90-minute conversation, they're talking past each other and never really heard each other, never really listened to each other, never really responded to the questions that were being asked. And my imagination is that this really leads to a loop that we never really get out of. And that we have found ourselves in this loop where we're not paying attention to the other side. We may not even really care. And because we don't care or pay attention, we're unable to solve whatever big or small problem there is, and that loop just keeps repeating itself. I'm wondering if this talking past each other, where we want some unidentified person that isn't present over the shoulder or behind who we're talking to actually be the ones to hear us. We're trying to convince someone who isn't in the room, whether it's on social media, whether it is through news broadcasts, whatever it is, we're trying to convince someone that isn't there of something that we believe to be true, even if they don't agree with us. And that lack of awareness of that loop keeps us stuck in it. How much do you and I talk past the person that we're talking to? As a coach, that's a dangerous thing because my job and livelihood is actually being present with the person and helping them figure out how to adjust themselves where it's a one-on-one thing and I'm being very present. But if we're not paying attention to whether we're talking past the person, whether we're listening to what they say, whether we are trying to solve the immediate problem, we're going to continue to stay in that eddy and never get out of it. So how to work on this on a practical basis? Again, it always starts with self-observation. Are you talking to the person that you're sitting in front of? Are you listening to what they say? Do you care? Or are you just trying to win a conversation and it's a forcing thing? By reducing that, stepping back and pausing for a minute and looking at what am I trying to say? Am I being heard? Am I listening and hearing the other person talk? Even if I don't agree with them, can I at least hear what they're saying? Am I asking for the other person to also pause and listen to what I'm saying? Am I answering the question that is being asked? Are they answering the question that's being asked? And do we need to stop and back up and answer questions before moving on? Otherwise, we just stay in this loop. My ask is to practice paying attention, and if you find yourself talking beyond the person, to pull back and practice. What are we trying to solve? How can I help and involve in solving that problem? What does this person need? What do I need? And is it possible to actually start answering the questions that are being asked instead of just talking? This is a really difficult thing and a challenging topic, but it's interesting to watch it with those two vice presidential candidates and the presidential candidates themselves. Asking for this and holding people accountable and holding ourselves to that same standard helps us get out of that loop. I'd be happy to talk about any questions that you have or any specifics that you have for yourself. Please feel free to comment below. I'm John Rhoads. This is Rhoads Life Coaching. I hope you're able to find purpose and meaning in daily life.